Hello and welcome to my craft room. It's a chilly old day today in here. I've just been out for a quick walk just to get some things I needed from the shop, and it's really blowy out there. It's really nice to be in here, nice and cosy in my craft room, and I've got a little something to open. And I know who this is from. This is from the lovely Darla Keller over in the States. She very kindly, last time I didn't have any more space. My list was full for the Stitchery swap, but she very kindly sent me a square anyway, which was absolutely gorgeous. It was like she's a Zentangle teacher, and I love Zentangle. I'm not that good at it, but I do love it. And she does a combination of her Zentangle with stitching, which is beautiful. I remember it from last time. So this time we're doing a proper swap. I've actually got hers all ready to go off. I've finished my Stitchery swaps now, thank goodness. They will be off well in time for the deadline. Shall we get in? Shall we get in and have a look? Look at this lovely, is this the stamp? It says Forever USA, celebrate. These must be the stamps. Aren't they beautiful? And I think that says Happy Christmas there, but it's kind of got, the stamp's gone a bit funny. Oh, isn't that nice? Okay, right, I am going to deploy my trusty letter opener. Be careful not to show you the other side because that's got Darla's address on. So exciting. So for anybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about, this is for the great big little Stitchery swap. I will put the playlist for that below too, where you'll find all of the videos were right from the first swap a few months back right through, so all of the squares that I opened and all of the all the videos introducing it, telling you all about it, and right through to putting together a book to where I'm going, several books where I'm going to be keeping all of the swaps that I've received. They're so beautiful. It's just such an amazing thing to do this. We're swapping with people all over the world. It just makes you feel even more connected to all the online friends that you've made through this amazing hobby that we all love so much, and it's such a joy, and it's even more of a joy to share it, and it just makes you feel so connected with the people that you're swapping with. It's a wonderful experience. There's an art swap as well, so if you're more into art than stitching, there's an art one as well. The deadline to send off the swaps is the 31st of December, so it's probably pushing it now, to be fair, but there will be another one. I'm going to suggest that we maybe do it twice a year rather than go straight into another one again, and I'm thinking maybe April and October next year. So let me know what you think, if you've done the swaps before and you want to do them again, or if you fancy joining in for the first time. What do you think? A couple of times a year, April and October, I think that'll work quite well with a 2-month deadline. Okay, I'm going in. Shut up waffling and get in. I'm feeling it surreptitiously. And if you haven't done the swapping yet, you won't know how amazing this moment is when I've got goose pimples all over again. Make sure I'm not leaving anything. I left something in an envelope before. Oh look, Zentangle Apprentice. Who said? Darla Keller. So this is going to be a Zentangle. This is going to be a Zentangle piece. One of her beautiful Zentangle pieces. I don't know what to look at first. I really don't. That's probably the back of the square by the feel of it. Has she wrapped it? Oh, she's wrapped it in a piece. Hang on. Love this fabric that she's wrapped it in. That will get incorporated into the book that I end up putting these in. Everybody's finding different ways of using their squares. So like for instance, Sylvia Back, who's You and Me FPP on YouTube, she made all of hers from the first swap into a quilt, and she's doing a book this time. Creating Craft with Christine, who's also here on YouTube, she's making hers into a perpetual calendar, which I thought was such a novel idea. I've not seen anyone do that before. What a lovely way to enjoy all the squares that she received. I'm not sure I think I'm going to carry on doing books because it's going to be the easiest way to store them, and I needed to make 3 volumes because I had so many last time. I've not done so many this time. Keeping myself in suspense. I don't know which to look at first. Let's look at this first. Look at that. Now I wonder which way up it is. Well, I suppose it's going to be that way up, isn't it? Who said? I love this. I'm in awe of people who make Zentangle, they make it look so easy. You watch them doing it and they make it look easy, and it isn't. It is. It's very therapeutic, the doing of it, but to end up with a piece that looks kind of cohesive like this is where I fall down. I would love to do a course or something. One day I'll make time to do that. I just love this. beautiful. I've decided with all of my art swaps, I think what I'm going to do is make like a portfolio. I'll decorate it with some, you know, things like jelly print and napkins and paint and stuff, and make it all arty-farty. And it'll be a special place, like a folder, to put all of the pieces of art in it, because I've had some beautiful things sent to me, the squares and other pieces, larger pieces of beautiful things, just real special to me. I want to keep them somewhere really nice, and unfortunately I haven't got room in here to display them all on the walls, so I thought, well, it'd be nice to have them in like a sort of miniature funky version of the portfolios that we used to carry around at art school many years ago. I remember I was so little then. Believe it or not, much sturdier now, don't blow over easily in the wind now, but in those days I was like 7 stone nothing. It was 5'2", and the portfolio that I had to carry back and forth was nearly as big as me. I think it was A1, I think it was huge black thing, I remember. And if the wind blew up, it would I would have a problem. It would try and take me off like a sail. Wouldn't have such a problem these days. A lot more ballast, unfortunately. But anyway, like a miniature version of that, a really fun version of that to keep all these special pieces in. Thank you so much, Darla. That's beautiful. It really brings it to life when people like the shading, when they do the shading in around here as well. And I think she's done that with she's done some with pencil and some with like a grey marker or something. Brilliant, love it. Now I'm going to the stitch square. Backside first. I love me a messy backside. Oh, it's not that messy. It's a very tidy backside. Oh, and this is, I know I say it every time, but I keep saying it every time in case somebody is watching for the first time and just thinks I'm mad, which is partially true, to be fair, but I love to look at the back first, because there's something about looking at the stitches on the back. For a start, it shows you how much work went into it, and also it just makes you feel really connected with the person that made it for me. I just find it really emotional, and I love the feel of it as well. I love trying to guess maybe what's in there, some sort of rainbow variegated thread there. But I can't tell anything from the shapes. I'm assuming it's going to be this way up because that's the way she's written her name. I just love this fabric she's wrapped it in. Oh, look at all the work in this. I forgot what you call this, is it called cut work or something? God, it's on this tiny, very fine even weave fabric. Oh, look. This kind of reminds me of, in a way, the Zentangle kind of thing, because this is kind of like doodling with your thread, isn't it? Doodling into the shapes that are there, and this, I know, it's just something puts me in mind of Zentangle as well. Oh, look at these beautiful buttons. This little flower with all French knots to make the centre. A lovely kind of vintage looking clock fabric with rainbow circles there. All these French knots here. It's very tactile. Fascinated with the amount of work in here. So you've got these tiny little windows cut into the embroidery there, and then behind there's black felt with embroidery on that's peeking through the windows. And I don't know if the camera's going to do justice to how beautifully 3D this looks. That's kind of showing you. Isn't it gorgeous? Thank you so much, Darla. I can see so much work has gone into that. Lovely pearl thread here, and it's really close, like the neatest ever blanket stitch around there. Absolutely blooming gorgeous. I love the fabric she's used in the background as well. It's like 2 layers of this stuff. I wonder if this is reclaimed. It reminds me a bit of some of the reclaimed fabrics that I've had from Bazaar. Beautiful, absolutely. Love it, absolutely love it. Let's make myself a thumbnail. There we go, I can zoom in there for my thumbnail. How gorgeous is that? Oh, let's come back up here. I'm really glad now that my stitch swaps are already done. I've still got to do my art ones, but they'll be reasonably quick to do. I will get them off before the deadline. I promise anyone who's waiting. But I'm really glad now that the stitched squares are all done. I only did 15 this time, but I ended up spending more time on each one, which is nice. It's partly why I cut it down this time. But it's taken me, as I thought it would, pretty much the whole 2 months to get them all done. And now I can go back to finishing off my books, to put my fabric books with the first swap in. Here's my first swap book, I did a sort of Victorian crazy patchwork style cover for this one, and I'll give you a quick peek. If you look at the Stitchery swap playlist that I'm going to link in the description, you'll see a full sort of look through this and how I put it together and everything. That's my bit of embroidery in the front, and then I stitched each of the squares in. I left them attached so I could still look at the back sides. I tried to reflect the design or the stitches or the colours that were used in the stitching that I did on the background pages, and I embroidered each person's name somewhere on the page as well. So this took a while. This is a real labour of love. I absolutely loved it, and each page was inspired by the people, the squares that people had created for me. So I took lots of ideas, like I loved this butterfly trail that Deb did here, and emulated that there. Picked up the colours, and it inspires you. Having all these to look back on inspires you. You can look at some of the stitches that other people have used, some of the colour combinations, some of just the ideas. Some of the squares I've made this time have used ideas that I've taken from the squares that got sent to me last time. So I've got all of these and another 2 books full just from the first swap, and now I've got another, well, I say 15 swaps this time, but as before, I end up receiving more than I send out, which makes me feel a little bit guilty, but I had to draw a line and be really firm with myself. I said to other people all along with the swap, don't feel obliged to put other things in. You've got to think about the postage apart from anything else, especially if you're sending out quite a few, and also in terms of time and things. It's amazing. I feel so lucky when people send me like more than one square, or like an art square as well, or other bits and pieces, but I haven't got the time and the energy to do that myself, and I apologise that my recipients are only going to get a card and a square from me, but they've been made with lots of love and care. I've put a lot of work into them. I really hope everybody's going to like them, and that's what it's all about, really. It's just, the whole thing has just been such an absolute joy. It's really taken me aback what a huge thing it's become. Do let me know what you think in the comments. Just from the bit of feedback that I have had, I think seems to be a good idea to have a little break now from the swaps. We've done 2 this year. The first one just blew up completely. We did another one only a couple of months later. I think have a break now and make it a twice yearly thing. Once in April, once in October. I'll come up with an optional theme each time. Maybe introduce it, say a month before, give you time to start putting your list of swapsters together and stuff, and we'll give it a 2-month deadline. So if we kick off in April, 31st of May will be the deadline. Start on the 1st of October, 30th of November will be the deadline, and that way we'll avoid the Christmas thing and everything. And we've got one in summer and one in winter, whichever side of the world you are, and yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling on about nothing at all now. If I don't see you before, I'm not sure when I'm going to manage to slot this video in. If I don't see you before, have a lovely Christmas, and I will see you very soon. I have all sorts of stitching projects and other projects, all kinds of things going on for the new year. I'm going to get myself really organised this year and plan things out a little bit. The one I'm most excited about at the moment that will be starting this first is the colour inspiration journal. So if you'd like to join in with that, I'll try and remember to leave a link to that as well. Whether you're into stitching or arts or other crafts, it will lend itself to whatever arts and crafts you're into, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So very excited about that. A few people have already said they're going to join me, and it'll be a nice, fun, uplifting, creative thing to start in the new year, and we'll probably carry on for some time afterwards. We'll just see how it goes, and all sorts of other things in the pipeline as well. I'm so excited. I almost want Christmas out of the way now so I can crack on. Anyway, have a lovely one wherever you are, and I will see you again really soon. Thanks so much for joining me today. What a waffler I am. Maybe that should be my New Year's resolution. There's no point. I'll fail before I even start. Okay, I'm going to stop waffling now. Thanks very much for joining me, and I'll see you again really soon.